I ask the Prime Minister, does she agree with the Minister for Regional Australia that the government is in deadlock and no longer capable of discharging its duty to the Australian people?
The Prime Minister has the call.
I most certainly do not. The suggestion is absurd. As the Leader of the Opposition well knows, during the course of today, he and I, in a bipartisan spirit, have been engaged in some very important business for the Australian nation. He should also be aware that during the course of this parliamentary week, even whilst all eyes have been on the media debate, we have continued to govern in the interests of the nation by pursuing the legislation for the National Disability Insurance Scheme. At the same time, as a government, we continue to work with Australians around the nation in making sure that we keep our economy strong and offer people the benefit of work. And it's during the last fortnight we received the news that more than 70,000 jobs were created in a month in our country, bringing to more than 900,000 the number of jobs created since this government came to office, meaning we are well on our way to creating 1 million jobs. During the course of this week too, I have personally, this week and last, pursued what is the transformative opportunity agenda for our nation, and that is making sure that we better fund schools, we improve schools, and that we have new improvements and new resources that truly mean that every Australian child gets a great education and gets the benefits of the opportunities that are coming for our nation during this, the Asian century of growth and change. As the Leader of the Opposition may also be aware, we were certainly talking about it in question time yesterday, we have determined to keep supporting families with all of the stresses and strains that they face today, including cost of living pressures, and we did that as recently as yesterday by securing new increases for 3.5 million pensioners around the country who need the support of government and would not get that support extended to them in the same way at the same dimension if the government were to change and if the Leader of the Opposition ever became Prime Minister, given he has said very, very clearly that he is committed to cutbacks for these Australians who need our care and support the most. And so the government will continue to pursue the agenda that we've set for ourselves and the Australian nation. It is about being smarter, it is about being stronger, it is about being fairer, it is about making sure that a strong economy is ready for this century of change and growth. It is about making sure that a strong economy offers benefits to all rather than the enrichment of just a few. And it is too about supporting modern families with their everyday pressures. This is the agenda that drives us, and it continues to drive us. Even today, we will make progress on it, and so for the Leader of the Opposition, I can assure him the answer to his question is no.
The Leader of the Opposition on a supplementary.
Yes, thanks, Madam Speaker. To the Prime Minister, how can the Prime Minister expect the Australian people to be convinced by that answer and that litany when plainly she hasn't been able to convince the Minister for Regional Australia in the case she's just argued, someone who's not just her minister but an elder statesman of the Labor Party and a former leader of the Labor Party?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Yes, my colleague, the Minister for Health, does point out the irony of that remark, indicating that you haven't said too many charitable things about the member for Hotham in the past. Can I say too, before the Leader of the Opposition gets too carried away with eulogising former leaders, he might want to make an assessment about what some of the former leaders of his political party say about him. Maybe the member for Wentworth might be able to embellish for us on that very topic. The government has been continuing to pursue its agenda and continuing to resist the opposition's plans for cutbacks for Australian families, which would undermine their opportunity to share in the life of our nation and hold them outside the benefits of prosperity and growth. This has and always will be the fundamental divide between our political parties, us committed to jobs, you having opposed jobs, us committed to fairness and ensuring that the benefit of a strong economy flows to all, you opposing each and every day, the Leader of the Opposition and his team opposing each and every day those benefits and saying, if they are ever elected, that they will be very directly ripped away. This is the political debate in our country. This is what drives the government and drives us today and will drive us in the days beyond today.
Hear, hear.
I thank the Manager Opposition Business for his assistance. I was actually going to call that myself. The Leader of the Opposition on his second supplementary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and again to the Prime Minister. Does the Prime Minister agree with former Prime Minister Bob Hawke that if you can't govern yourselves, you can't govern the country?
Hear, hear.
The Prime Minister has the call.
Thank you very much. I certainly believe that as a government you've got to keep your focus on the things that matter to the Australian people, and that's where my focus is. As Prime Minister, my focus is and continues to be on those things that make a difference for families around the nation. And certainly when I speak to families around the nation, it is crystal clear that nothing is more important to them than having the benefits of work, so that there is a pay packet or more than one pay packet coming in the door. They certainly want to keep as much of that pay packet as possible, which is why our reforms in taxation have made such a difference. They want their child to get a great quality education. They want to know that there's a doctor in their community and a hospital that can function for them if their family is in need. They want to see the new benefits that would come with the National Disability Insurance Scheme. They want to see us as a nation continuing to grow ever stronger, but also to share that prosperity with all. That is the government's mission. I understand it is resisted at every level by the Leader of the Opposition, but in our democracy that is the nature of contests. We stand for a strong economy. You have stood for weakening it. We stand for supporting modern families with the pressures they face. You stand for taking away benefits from them. Such is the contest, and the government will continue to join that debate as we continue to guide the nation to a stronger, fairer and smarter future.